What's goody to any and everybody who may be listening? Okay. I am going to be dissecting and breaking into this individual whom I have been perceiving as my counterpart, my divine counterpart, which has been nothing more than an incubus. Okay, I would call the bitch Queen Incubus, but there's no sort of royalty there at all, except for what he stole from a divine being. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. Let's go back to the ship. Once this body, this prison was placed over my soul energy, as well as this individual, this incubus was already on that ship. Okay. Prior to myself. And you could say my counterpart, but my counterpart was not with me because I came alone, which was a part of the setup in the first place. Okay. With this individual, this incubus already being on the ship. Okay, and them creating the body, the archons creating the body out of my pure soul energy and putting that prison over my pure light. Okay, where me and this individual, this incubus, had sex immediately. Okay. This is the individual that I have been perceiving as my counterpart, when this individual is most definitely not my counterpart. This individual is a witch. Okay. And this has been nothing more than energy harvesting and potions and love spells. Okay. What's next? Where to go with this? Okay. This individual, whom I have perceived to be my counterpart, it has been him every step of the way. Pulling me down, dragging me down, and stealing from me. Okay, we're going to start because this individual did not appear until I was the head of the coven. So you have my celestial body, which, let's talk about that for a second. Okay, because it was that sex that we had on that ship. Okay, which then shifted into me being that celestial body and giving birth to everything which would eventually form in this universe. After the sex that I had with this incubus on that ship. I want to go ahead and get this out now, but I'm going to talk about this again. How uncomfortable it was to be up there in that celestial body giving birth with all these with all these different energies bothering me. Okay, up in that okay, but it was due to that sex scene on that ship that I became the celestial body anyway, giving birth to what would eventually form in this universe. Okay. After that, it was so uncomfortable up there doing that, giving birth, and being bothered by these gnats or whatever that was that kept bothering me while I was in that process. These gnats, or even the orb, black orbs, the dark, whatever that was that kept bothering me. So that's why I ended that lifetime where I was the celestial body giving birth. And I descended down into the ruler. Now we have some more facts about this ruler. Okay, she was a giant. I was a giant at this time. And I was the ruler. And everybody else was just like little. Everybody else was just little humans. And it was just me ruling. Okay? So, what made me end this was the invasion. Now, this was Atlantis, where I was that giant. Okay? What made me end that was the invasion, which was nothing more than an illusion anyway. Because, like I said, as above, so below. Everything that has occurred down here has already happened in some way, shape, form, or fashion on that ship. So this invasion occurred, which caused me to end that lifetime as the ruler. Then I moved down into the throat chakra, where I became the mermaid or the sea creature, with this creature, this ugly old creature hassling me, coming up to me and hassling me about so I forgot what he was hassling me about, but he came up to me every day or all the time in my space, in my face, hassling me about doing something. So eventually, like I said, this had worn on me. And I ended that lifetime. The way I used to end the lifetime is that I would take a piece of my skin off, or pinch a piece of my skin off and blow it up, or it would blow up, and then I would blow my consciousness into that new piece. So after I ended this lifetime as the mermaid or the sea creature or what have you, I became the teacher and the head of that coven. Okay, now this is when this individual appeared, or I was manipulated into conjuring this individual up. So I conjured this individual. This was an incubus. And I have to say it. I gotta tell you why I conjured it. I conjured this individual up because I wanted to feel the dick in my stomach. I know it's... I know how stupid it sounds, but you gotta, like I said, this all stems from that ship. This is the individual that I was conjuring up. The individual that I had already had sex with on that ship is the individual that I was conjuring up as the witch or the head of that coven. So I conjured him up. He appeared. We became husband and wife somehow, some way. And like I said, I perceived this individual to be my counterpart, even though I knew that I had left my home planet alone. But there was this aspect of hypnosis, of trance and spells that these archons kept me under. I was not in my right mind. Okay. So anyway, this incubus appeared, and we married or whatever. And you know, we began the element of sex magic. But see, I want to get to the point. Aside from the point that I'm about to make, like I said, these archons took something that was not perverted and perverted it. They took something that was innocent and perverted it, which was my pure light, my pure God, my God particles, my pure source fractals that they took and did this prison over it and perverted. So let's go right on ahead and break into this individual, this Incubus, on a metaphysical level. Okay, the type of creature he is, an incubus, very much so. But underneath that, I am hearing something about an insectoid. Okay, specifically about his vertebrate, an invertebrate, the vertebrate. I am hearing something about that spot on his lower back. There's something about his lower back. Okay, his vertebrate, where he secretes some sort of venom or some sort of poison. Okay, but it does come out of his penis. But where the place where that poison or that venom is stored is in his vertebrae or his lower back. Okay, that's number one. What I'm hearing. Okay. So this individual, I'm also picking up on something about roaches, roach legs, roach eggs, and roach skin. There is something that I am picking up on as it pertains to this individual about the slime, about slime. Something about wetness. It's wetness. There's some sort of slime over his body. Or something like that. Okay? But I have to tell you, though, here. I have to say this, and I'm not, like, I'm black myself, and my nose is a little wide, too. But the dead giveaway for me was the depth of the width and the flatness of his nose. That of which I have never seen ever before. Something about that to me screamed the roach or something like that. Okay, I'm going to be breaking into the first encounter about this individual where I encountered him in this lifetime. But I'm going to save that for later. I'm going to continue on this, how every step of the way it was this being there to bring me down or to steal. Okay? Like I said, this individual appeared, or I conjured him up because I was manipulated into doing so. During that lifetime as the teacher and the head of the coven, where eventually it became something like the movie The Faculty, where this virus or something had gotten out of control and everybody was affected by some sort of virus. Okay, everybody went against Mother. They turned their backs on Mother. Everybody, including the ones that she nurtured and she taught and she supported, who they were sucking out the milk out of her motherfucking titty. Okay, they all turned their backs on this lady. Okay. And it got to the point where she was, because we're the same, but I was tied to a table, okay, by this brotherhood that I have spoken about before, where Andy was a member of, where this incubus stayed following behind this little Andy, a follower. This incubus was a follower. And quite stupid. Okay? But anyway, I found myself tied to a table. Okay? And at that time, this individual was nowhere in sight. But he showed up. And I expected this individual to have my back. I did expect this individual to stand up for me. I did, but no, baby. I gagged. I gagged when he showed up with this knife. And it was like a hook knife, a curved knife. Okay? That, after these individuals in this brotherhood was showing me the future about what would happen to my babies and things of this nature, is when this individual showed up with that knife, that curved knife or that hook knife, and he stuck this knife into me as he sucked my soul essence out of my body. Okay, and after he sucked my soul essence out of my body, it was placed into some sort of fountain. Okay. Where am I gonna go next? Okay. So after this occurred, we would find ourselves back in each other's presence because the life didn't end. It just shifted. So after this occurred, I don't want to forget about some of the main parts, which was him killing my children. Okay, the children that I gave birth to, the children that I bore from out of my heart chakra. I bore these two children out of my heart chakra. They sprung forth from my heart chakra, and this individual killed them. And now let's talk about this potion again, because before, when I didn't have my understanding wasn't as clear, I was saying that he did all these things because he consumed that potion. But no, baby, okay? He did all of these things. He knew what was going on the whole time because he was the leader of these nymphs. Okay? And this potion, where I tried to warn him. It was something like I warned him about something, and this individual went off. He went crazy. And he killed my children. I think he raped me too, right there, and killed my children. But this was not the rape that I'm not the rape that would cement the formation of this physical world. Okay, this was a different rape. But you see what I'm saying? It has been this individual every step of the way, stealing and taking from me. Okay. There was also the incident where the individual again showed his colors and was sucking some of my light out of my body, but I allowed him to do this or something like that. I allowed him to do this. And then there's something, I call it my baby. It's there. It belongs there. It sits in my eye or sits behind my eye. And it goes where the light goes. So after he sucked some of the light out of me that I let him do, that's my baby left out of behind my eye and went to him. Okay, and ever since that occurred, There was no chasing him because at that point I didn't want him no more. It was I wanted back. I wanted it back. Give me my light back. But every step of the way, this individual was evading me. Trying not to get caught. As I was continuing to be depleted. And I also do recall ending that lifetime. And stepping down into the younger version of myself, where I became the gatekeeper. Okay. The point I'm trying to make is, it's senseless to even keep explaining the same thing over and over again. Okay? This individual has been there every step of the way to make sure that he has brought me down, to try to destroy me, and to lower my vibration. Then all of a sudden here, like I'm picking up on these love spells and this magic that is trying to solidify something between this individual and I, which won't ever happen because it's nothing more than magic. Okay? And these love spells that he keeps with this soul tie between him and I, which is over because I'm done. Okay? I also want to talk about my ex-sister, who was also around at the time where I was the head of the coven. She was one of the witches in my coven. And honestly, I gotta be honest about this little girl. I couldn't stand the little girl from the get-go. It was something about her eyes that I did not like. Something about the stupidity within them. Something about the dingy, dingbat, stupid, dumb, those eyes of hers. Just the soul energy of her. Because she was sold. But there was something that happened because at this time I kept a little, like a jar or something like that, where I had to keep my soul energy inside of this jar or something like that. And she somehow stole it, or somehow she got it. She got a hold of it, and this magic was done right then and there. Anyway, the Incubus would wind up leaving with her, which would then lead up to Mother. After the second rape. Or the third rape. Ain't no telling how many rapes. Because you gotta bear with me because I'm recalling this in real time. Okay? And it's not easy. I'm scanning my energy field and I'm seeing this in my energy field. It is not easy. Okay? But she somehow acquired my soul energy, stole it out of the jar that I kept it in or something like that, and because I knew I had to conserve of my energy. But she got it somehow. The Incubus followed her. But it was after this where he killed my children. Where he would come back. He came back. Okay? And this was the first rape. He came back. And there was something about me warning him about that potion, even though he already knew about the potion. He already knew he was the one who set it up in the first place. And then him raping me. And he flew off into some sort of rage, raped, and then killed my children. But the point of this is to say that, oh baby, you got caught red-handed, Incubus. Because of after the second rape and that kidnapping which occurred further down, way down in the sacral, where I was locked inside of that cellar, and who was there? Of course, my ex-sister Danielle, along with the Incubus, still together. Hey, okay. And the end of that lifetime, after being locked in that cellar, after being fed crystal meth, and eventually becoming hooked on crystal meth. And I also I gotta say something about the shadow people. That was, oh wow, to be fed that drug in that lifetime, not knowing what it was or what it would cause, and then for those shadow people to appear, that was torture, because I did not know what was going on with those shadow people appearing at that time, going through me. It's like they were going through me or something like that. But it was sort of different because, as I said, this was in the sacral chakra. This was, the air was lighter. The vibration was a little higher. It was slightly higher. Okay. What else do I want to say about this? So, do I believe that this individual is miraculously going to be healed? Or is he coming to try to get the rest? Is he coming to try to get the rest of my core out of me? Which at this point is not my core, because all of my fragments are coming back home. And I am regenerating. Okay. This individual will not be anywhere in sight. So, I'm going to say this again. Now, this individual better not approach me. Okay, and I'm going to say this. I better not see this individual anywhere, because I'm going to embarrass him and I'm going to cause the biggest scene. I'm going to cause a scene. So he better be looking around every corner so that he don't see me. Because I will be causing a scene, a huge scene, and he going to be embarrassed. Like, I'm telling you, baby, I'm going to fag out. Real bad. And I don't care who I don't care who he in front of. This individual is not my counterpart. Strip him of every single bit of that power that came from me. Formally, he is formally being stripped of any power that he got from me, that he stole from me. Okay? I want him out of my energy for all of eternity. And we will let the Most High, we will let the Supreme Being, the All, deal with it. Okay, I'm having to deal with it just to clear the hatred for him out of my system. Okay. I think we got this out. Okay. I said all this to say that it took for me to get that fragment back about that the last lifetime where I was locked in that cellar to be able to see this. Because of the ability, because of the magical ability that they have to suck up or to suck it up, or it's giving that fish, you know, the fish that be in the fish tank that sticks itself to the fish tank, that suck up, that's what that gives. He has the same abilities as these individuals who hovered over me as I lie there on that floor, full of black orbs, at the end of that life. as they were attempting to suck this fountain of youth out of me, or attempting to suck the core out of me. He has the same abilities. He is no different than them. He is one of them. Okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.